Greetings everyone, this is Thunder, the Desert Shaman. Haven't done a video in a while because I've been preoccupied with my love, Natalie, who is a new addition to my household here. More on that later. But I realize it's been a while since I've done a video, so I'm going to do it now. Especially for the people of the Campfire Council and other people. So let's start off, it's been a while, like I said, so let's start off with what's happening in the news. And I want to touch on something that I feel is very important today, and that is what's going down with the media. The long and short of it is the media is fomenting racial discord and race riots and division of people with their incessant babbling and whining about Trump and what he said on the Charlottesville matter. Let's take it bit by bit here. What he said was that he didn't promote hate and violence from either side or from anybody, period, end of story. But because he didn't attack, quote unquote, the so-called white supremacists, he's a bad guy. Well, I got news for you. There's two sides to this story. There's the radical left and the radical right, okay? Both of them are violent prone groups of people. Let's break this down. The Charlottesville thing, the people that went in there were not white supremacists. They were a group that was trying to stop the destruction of a statue of Robert E. Lee, okay? Protection of Civil War history. Yes, there were some people that were mixed in, okay? And these people always show up. Where do they come from? Well, maybe from the government. Who knows? So you had that group of people which were peaceful protesters, and they got a permit to do their thing and protest the destruction of this statue. Now in comes this other side, the left, the alt-left, okay, with groups like Antifa. Let me tell you something about Antifa, okay? They're a radical terrorist organization on the left. Yet nobody's talking about them. All they're talking about is the people on the right, okay? So you got Antifa, which is on the left, okay, which is a group of subversive fucking maniacs, okay, dressed in black. They dress in black, they wear black masks, they carry baseball bats, they carry mace, they wear helmets, and they set fires and destroy property, okay? So how is that any fucking better than what the people are talking about on the right, okay? The people on the right, in this case, had a permit, they had permission to go in there and do their thing, and they were attacked by this Antifa movement. Then you got another left movement, okay, out there called Black Lives Matter. Don't pay any attention to what these, the titles of these groups. What they are subversive groups, okay, radical, subversive, violent groups. And so what happens? Well, like I said, the group that was on the far right came in and supposedly on the far right, came in and was peacefully protesting. What happened? They had a permit and the cops came in and harassed the shit out of them. And then when the Antifa members came in to beat up on these people that had a permit, what happened to the cops? Well, they backed the fuck off. They were nowhere to be seen. So this is all orchestrated. It's all an orchestrated thing from the deep state, from the people that want to foment a race war. And who is fomenting, who is pushing this bigger than anybody that you can imagine? CNN, CBS, Washington Post, all these fucking media organizations that are controlled by the deep state are the ones that are fomenting this. Why? Because they're making a very slanted story about what the fuck went down. And they're also slanting public opinion against Trump. Do I think Trump's a savior? No. I don't think any politician is. But when a person comes out and says they condemn violence on all sides and that all sides are responsible, that's the fucking truth, okay? That's what happened. That's what went down. So what do? They twist it to make it look like Trump is siding with the far right or the nationalists or the KKK or whatever, which is just a crock of shit, okay? And I'm tired of people piling on Trump for him doing what he feels is right, for him trying to take the middle ground, the neutral ground, and condemning both sides for the violence. No, they want him to be slanted and to just take the offensive against one group, which is totally fomenting race wars. So people need to wake up, and it's the same old song and dance I've always talked about. It's the same fucking thing. It's the media fomenting discord, controlled by people like the deep state, the Hillary camp, the George Soroses, those type of people. Now, when I was younger, the Democrats, let's put some light on this. The Democrats and the people on the so-called left were something totally different than what they are now. The Democrats and the left have been completely co-opted by the deep state. Completely co-opted. Are the Republicans any better? Well, fuck no, because they've been co-opted too by the deep state. They even turn against their own elected president. So all these people are piling on the president for impeachment, to cause instability in the U.S., to foment race riots, civil war. It's the oldest trick in the book, the divide and conquer trick. Let's divide the people. You know, there's millions and millions of people that don't belong into either camp here. The far left, the Antifa group, the Black Lives Matter, that group, which are totally radical groups. You don't think Black Lives Matter isn't a radical group? They're the ones that shot the cops in, where was it, Dallas or wherever? And have a history of violence. You don't think the Antifa groups are violent? They're the ones that were at Berkeley and destroyed all kinds of buildings and set fires and hurled Molotov cocktails. You don't think they're violent? They're fucking violent. They're worse than what the quote-unquote white supremacists are supposed to be. So this is going to spread out, okay, in a situation where the white man that is disenfranchised or is becoming a minority is going to get pissed off, okay, and join one of these radical groups. And then on the other side, you're going to get the black people and the people of color and the Hispanics and Latinos and who knows what else. They're going to go with the other side. They're radicalizing two different groups of people. They're radicalizing the people of color and they're radicalizing the white man. The white man feels disenfranchised, and in a lot of cases he is, because of people taking his jobs, people pouring into this country and given preference over him. So what's he going to do? Well, he's going to gravitate over to the radical element, okay? And this is what the deep state wants. They want to divide people into one camp or another and foment violence and cause instability in the U.S. What's the reason for it? Well, the reason is because there's probably going to be a financial collapse, and they're trying to cover their ass for it. They're trying to, and when that does happen, they want people to turn against one another. This is as old as the books. This is out of the pages of the Unconventional Warfare Manual. It's a covert op situation. And I'm tired of people, as much as I hate politics and as much as I hate politicians, I'm tired of people being blinded by the fucking media, who constantly sows seeds of discontent, hatred, labeling one group that might not be extreme as an extreme group, complete disinformation. Disinfo is one of the hallmarks of the Unconventional Warfare Manual, the CIA's modus operandi. This is something that people should be aware of. They shouldn't pile on Trump, and I'm talking to members of the Campfire Council here because I've seen some of it on there too. You shouldn't pile on somebody. If the truth be known, Trump's an outsider. Trump came in here with dreams of grandeur and the white knight in shining armor. That's how he views himself, as trying to really do something for America, not into the old boys club, not into the deep state. Complete outsider. Is he perfect? Fuck no. But he's hated by the deep state. And this is why you're seeing the barrage of lying fucking news from the media. You got these guys like Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon and all these idiots on there pretending to cry and, oh, it's a sad day in history because our president didn't come out and attack the quote-unquote white supremacists, which they use that term loosely. These people were not white supremacists. Did they have some white supremacists show up? Well, yeah. And why did they show up? Well, maybe they weren't white supremacists at all. Maybe they were part of the deep state's agent provocateurs. So you got them on both sides. It's an act, okay? Basically what it is an act. You got actors on this side infiltrating this group, and you got actors on this side, the actors being the agent provocateurs, infiltrating, spurring the people on to violence. Now, one thing I'll say about the Antifa side, they wear black, all black. They wear black masks. You can't identify who they are. That's purposeful, because those people are CIA. They're agent provocateurs. Make no doubt about it. And do these provocateurs infiltrate the other side? Well, shit, yeah, they do. They might dress up in a KKK uniform or wear a Nazi insignia. Now, before 2-3 years ago, did you see any of this shit? Did you see Antifa? I don't know when they came into existence. Antifa, anti-fascists. Did you see them around? Did you see a proliferation of the far right, or the so-called quote-unquote nationalists, nationalistic? So this is all an act, people. It's all an act to dupe the general public into thinking, number one, that Trump's a bad guy and that he should be impeached. Well, why do they want him impeached? Why do they want him impeached if he's created 1 million new jobs and done a lot of good for the country and fulfilled some of the promises? Well, why do they want him impeached? And why are they piling on this fucking president more than they have in any other president in the history of presidents? Why are they doing that? Well, because Hillary and her crew and her criminals, okay, in association with those who control her, which is again the deep state, the elite, the ones that want the New World Order, the ones that want to control everything through a bunch of laws, the bleeding heart, quote, liberals that don't want people to have fucking guns. So a country unarmed is a country easily taken over. People got to get out of their fucking complacency, pull their heads out of their asses, and start seeing what's really fucking going on here. And this is these are tactics that have been used since day one with the Native Americans, with my people. See, so I'm not racist, okay? Not in the least sense of the word am I racist. But what I hate to see is the pitting of one side against the other, okay? To where we do have race wars and a breakdown of civil order and a breakdown of society. This is what they want. And people, you can't go around with your heads up your ass and sticking your head in the sand and not seeing what the fuck's going on here. You have to realize what's going on. Because if you don't, you're going to get caught with your pants down in some situation that's horrendous. Yeah, I know it's real easy to, there's a part of me that just wants to back off from this stuff and just say, let matters take their course, and you're not going to stop it. But maybe the other side of me, which is somewhat militant and warrior, basically because of the roots that I'm from, won't allow this. Won't allow it to go without being something being said about it. And do these videos get viewed by hundreds of thousands of people? No. But it's cathartic for me to talk about it, and it's also good for the members of the Campfire Council to see this, and I haven't done a video in a while. I've been preoccupied with my love, Natalie, which is a beautiful, beautiful woman that's here with me right now, that is my oneness and my soulmate. And so that's taken some of my time, and I will, in a future video here, I'm going to have her come in and talk, and because she's strong in her own right, and she's an activist, and she's been involved in Native American rights. So at a future date, I will bring her in here and we'll talk together. We're planning on doing some videos together. So just want you to be made aware of this fact that the media probably right now is our biggest enemy. The media is definitely our biggest enemy because they're being used as a tool. Okay, they're being used as a tool by the deep state, by these psychotic motherfuckers that want to divide this country up, that want to foment violence. And they do it in every country on earth. This isn't just, they're just bringing it home to roost here. They've done it for years and years and years. Going in, co-opting countries, taking some of the leaders out that they don't like and supplanting them with their own puppets. As evidence, the war in Syria and the demonization of Russia, all this is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. Now, as far as Trump goes, let him do his thing. Let him do what he said he was going to do. Let's not condemn him. Let's not be in the brainwashed group of people that think, oh, Trump's a bad guy. He's a fascist. Okay. He's nothing of the sort. He's a businessman. Okay. And no, he isn't colluding with Russia. He's trying to make peace with Russia. So let's cut him a little fucking slack and see how things work out. My theory is they're probably going to assassinate him, because they've tried every trick in the book to foul him up, and if they can't foul him up, well, they'll end up assassinating him or impeaching him or doing whatever they need to do to discredit him. And for what? Because he won an election from Hillary Clinton, who is in the pocket of the deep state. That's for what? God help us if Hillary would have got in, because then we would have been in World War III with Russia. So you need to look beyond the little picture and see the big picture. You need to quit being so blinded by the media and by what they're putting out, because I'm telling you, I've talked to more and more people that just go on by what the media says or what filters through the media in different forms, and they filter it through on the internet, and they filter it through in the newspapers, and they filter it through in here, and they co-opt groups, and they take over groups, and they cause dissension. It's time you realize who the fucking devil really is, okay? And they're doing more damage. I don't want to belabor this point, but they're doing more fucking damage than even the deep state themselves, because they're a tool of the deep state, and they are a brainwashing tool of the deep state. And it's the deep state's principal way of disseminating propaganda, misinformation, and using all kinds of techniques, NLP, hypnosis, misdirection of energy. They're masters at this shit. And so what do? They use these puppets like Anderson Cooper and CNN and Don Lemon and all the fucking talking heads that don't have a fucking brain in their fucking head. Either that or they're just pure evil and realize they're being used and love being used. Okay? That's some of my thoughts on the matter right now, so I guess I'll leave it there today. Just squeaking in this video, because like I say, I haven't done one in a while, and it feels kind of good to mouth off again. So I'll leave it there till next time. This is Thunder the Desert Shaman saying adios.